Hello everyone, welcome to my Sephora savings event, Spring 2026 recommendations. If you're a beauty lover like me, you probably already know that the Sephora savings event is coming up very soon. I will have all of the dates posted right here on the screen, as well as down below in the description box. As you can see, there are different dates for different tier levels, as well as different discounts for each tier. I'm not going to go into detail on how the Sephora Beauty Insider program tiers work because I don't want to waste any time, and also because I'm certain that 90% of you already know what it takes to participate in this savings event. And the main one being that you are signed up for Sephora's Beauty Insider program. So once again, I will have the link to learn more about the spring savings event down below in the description box. That is also where you will find a list of all of the products I recommend, as well as the links. I'm also going to be tagging them through YouTube shopping. And as always, I truly appreciate you referencing my video when you're shopping or using my links when you're shopping. It means so much to me and truly is the easiest and best way to support me and my channel if you choose to. Every time the Sephora savings event comes around, I do try to approach my recommendations video in a slightly different way. Sometimes I give recommendations in every single category. Other times I like to narrow it down a bit. What I decided to do today is print out last year's list, and I'm going to use this as my guide. Basically, I will read off what my recommendations were, but also add or subtract based on what I find myself reaching for the most these days. And also, some of the old favorites have been knocked off my list by new products that have released since then. Okay, in the moisturizer and primer category, back in November, I mentioned the Laneige Water Bank Moisturizer, the Natasha Denona Hygiene Primer, the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, and the Charlotte Tilbury Invisible Flawless UV Primer. I would say out of the four of those, the ones I continue to use the most often are the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base and the Charlotte Tilbury Invisible Flawless UV Primer. I love the Charlotte Tilbury UV Primer because it does have an SPF 50. It is very lightweight. I find that it works beautifully under my makeup, or sometimes I do use it alone. And then the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. That is a product that if I were still doing freelance makeup artistry, if I were still working as a freelance makeup artist, I would 100% have that product in my kit. Those of you that do watch my videos on a regular basis, you are aware that the majority of my skincare actually doesn't come from Sephora. I'm really into K-beauty products, but of course, as a beauty content creator, specifically a quote unquote mature beauty content creator influencer, I do get sent a lot of anti-aging skincare to try. So I'm gonna add two more recommendations to this skincare list. One was sent to me in PR and the other one I discovered on my own. Now I know I just said seconds ago that I use a lot of K-beauty products right now. That wasn't meant to imply that Sephora does not carry any K-beauty brands, because they do, just not the ones I'm currently using. But once again, I do try out different products from time to time. And when I was sent this bounce cream from Then I Met You, which is a K-beauty brand, I was very intrigued by it because I love the textures of most K-beauty products, especially for my oily skin. For anyone that might be new to my channel, that is my skin type. I have very oily skin still at age 52, almost 53. And I really like this product because it gives me just the right amount of hydration, but it's not heavy, especially for the spring and summer months. I can wear this under my makeup very easily. It doesn't pill. It doesn't make me more greasy throughout the day. It contains, wait a second, glasses on, hellebong extract, ceramides, squalane, and omega fatty acids. It is a vitamin C enriched lightweight moisturizer. Oh, I don't think I knew this. It was an Allure 2025 Best of Beauty Award winner, and it retails for $46. My next moisturizer recommendation is a little bit pricier, which is why I began with the mini, the travel size, to see if I liked it. And then I went ahead and purchased the full size. So this was not sent to me in PR. I was doing some research after I had a really horrible reaction to a cleanser I was sent. I've shown pictures in other videos. My face was just so swollen, red, irritated. My eyes were swollen. It was terrible. And I really needed something to help repair my skin barrier. So I went online, like a lot of us do, and I researched the best or top reviewed moisturizing cream for a really damaged skin barrier. And the moisturizer that came up with the best reviews, literally some of the most glowing reviews I have ever read, were for this Alpen Barrier Repair Cream. The full name is Super Peptide Barrier Repair Moisturizer for Eczema, Wrinkles, and Firming. And the reason I went ahead and purchased the full size was because after just using the mini for a couple of days on my really angry skin, I was just amazed at the turnaround of my skin. Now, obviously, a big portion of that turnaround could be from just my skin calming down after the initial allergic reaction. But aside from that, my skin just felt more hydrated than it ever has. And yes, even oily skin can be significantly dehydrated, especially if you're using a lot of products to help control that oil. So I just felt like my skin was at its peak perfect moisture level, that it felt very soft. I felt like the redness had gone down quite a bit, not just from the allergic reaction redness, but my normal level of redness was greatly diminished. That said, this is not my new everyday moisturizer. For me, this is like the creme de la mer that I know a lot of people keep for occasions when they've had a significant issue with their skin. It's gotten really upset for some reason, whether it's on the face or on the body. I know quite a few people who save their La Mer for those occasions. It's not their everyday moisturizer because it is so pricey. Personally, I didn't want to spend quite that much to purchase the La Mer for my damaged skin barrier. And honestly, this one had better reviews anyway. All right, for concealer and corrector. Last fall, my picks were the Kulfi Main Match Concealer, the Tower 28 Serum Concealer, and the Cali Ray Hideaway Concealer. How did I not have Natasha Denona on this list? That seems wrong. Like maybe I added it in when I recorded the video, because surely I would have had the Natasha Denona. Okay. So yes, all three of those, still excellent, still recommend. I would say that the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer would be the best, would cover the majority of people. If you have moderate to dark circles, or you need moderate to very high hydration underneath the eyes, then I would say Natasha Denona is a great pick. But two new ones have come out recently. The Patrick Ta Concealer and also the concealer from Charlotte Tilbury. These are for two very specific people, different people. Well, I actually use both, but I use them on different days, depending on the look I'm going for. Patrick Ta, in my opinion, is a much lighter weight concealer than the Charlotte Tilbury. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Concealer is going to be for my full glam people. It gives amazing coverage, and you only need the smallest amount. If you try this concealer, please just use a tiny dot, one dot on each eye, and then build from there. Both of these new concealers are serum based, so you are going to get a hybrid of skincare and coverage. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Concealer does claim 24-hour hydration, but just based on experience going back and forth with them both over the past 6-7 weeks, I feel like the Patrick Ta is more hydrating. So the Patrick Ta, more skin-like, the Charlotte Tilbury, more glam, the Natasha Denona, kind of somewhere in the middle. And I would say the same thing about the Sarah Creel Concealer. That's another one that I've reached for a lot in the past year. I also don't know why that one is not on this list. Now I'm intrigued. I need to go back to that video and see if I added them. Or I might have put them in another video, because sometimes I do 2 recommendations videos. I do one like this that is more all-encompassing, but then in some years I will also put up a best affordable products from Sephora or a best luxury product video from Sephora. So I may have put the Sarah Creel in that video, like a luxury makeup video, because it is on the pricier side. I do think it's worth it though. I adore that concealer. It contains hyaluronic acid, caffeine, aloe leaf extract. It is one of the few concealers that I could actually see using as a foundation as well. I mean, it would be pretty pricey to use that as a full face foundation, but just for larger areas that you may want to conceal that will give more coverage but still flex with your skin, the CeraCreole is excellent for that. Now for foundations, I mentioned the Armani Beauty Luminous Silk, which I mentioned in pretty much all of my previous savings event videos, recommendations videos over the years. They have since changed the formula. And I used to adore the original formula when I was a freelance makeup artist. I liked it for the reasons most other makeup artists had this foundation in their kit, because it just looked so beautiful on so many people. So just like how the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation had to be reformulated because of a banned ingredient in the UK, the Giorgio Armani foundation had to be reformulated for the same reason. And that ingredient is silicones, specifically cyclopenzacillicone D5 and cyclohexaciloxane D6. It says these ingredients, commonly used to give foundations a silky slip feeling and long wear properties, are being restricted due to environmental concerns, specifically their tendency to bioaccumulate. So what I have found with both of those foundations, the Estee Lauder, which by the way, I have an entire video dedicated to the new formula that I can link in the description box. I only got a sample of the new Giorgio Armani foundation, and I didn't like either of them because I feel like when it says here that those ingredients gave that silky slip feeling and long wear properties, that's what I feel is missing now from both of those foundations is the wear time. I put that sample on and it looked flawless upon application, but so did the Estee Lauder Double Wear. And then within 2 hours, it was not looking good at all. I was super shiny. It had broken up everywhere. It was an easy pass for me. So I'm no longer recommending that outright, but I would still suggest that if that foundation appeals to you, get a sample, because 20% off of this pricey foundation is actually a nice savings. So if you happen to love the new formula, now would be the time to pick it up. I also have the Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow foundation on here. That has been a staple of mine for years. I just love the finish of it. I feel like it doesn't get enough credit. It doesn't get enough hype. It is a beautiful foundation for normal skin, combo skin, normal to oily skin. My current favorite foundations for my particular skin type would be the NARS Natural Matte Longwear, the Dior Forever Skinwear Blurring Natural Matte Foundation, and the Dior Forever Skin Perfect 24-Hour Multi-Use Foundation Stick. I have also been testing out the new Rare Beauty Longwear, but I haven't come to the conclusion that I love it yet to make a solid recommendation. I'm working on a video where I compare the NARS with the Dior with the Rare Beauty, but I haven't completed that yet. So for now, I am going to leave that one out of my recommendations because based on the 2 days that I've tried it, I feel like the NARS and the Dior held up better. If you're someone that is not looking for a matte foundation, but you're still looking for beautiful long-wearing coverage that is more of a natural or radiant or skin-like finish, then I would recommend the Natasha Denona High Glam Foundation or the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Medium Coverage Foundation with fermented arnica. Contour and bronzer, I still recommend the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Contours, as well as the Gucci bronzer. I have recommended the Gucci bronzer every Sephora savings event for the past probably 2-3 years. Since then, I have tried pretty much all of the high-end bronzers at Sephora, Dior, YSL, Armani. The one I find myself reaching for the most now is this bronzer from Say Beauty. It is called the Super Suede Radiant Talc-Free Baked Powder Bronzer. I use the shade Amalfi, which is described as a light to medium with neutral undertones, and it's beautiful. I find it to be very blurring. Those other bronzers I mentioned are great as well, Dior, Armani, YSL, but there's just something about the Saie Beauty. When you have that many products in the same category to choose from, it really says something about your favorite, that something is your favorite when you find yourself reaching for that one product over the others time and time again, which is what has been happening with me with the Saie Beauty Bronzer and all of those others. So that is why it is one of my top picks. I also really like for contour this Too Faced Cream Contour Stick. It is their chocolate melting bronzing and sculpting stick. It comes in 7 shades. It retails for $35. This product is just super creamy, super blendable. There are cool tones in the range, warm tones in the range. I really feel like there is a shade out of these 7 that would be perfect for everyone, even those of you with very fair skin or very dark skin. For powders, I have here the Too Faced Born This Way Blurring Powder. Still love that. The Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Loose Powder. Still love that. Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Pressed Powder. I will always have at least one of those on my vanity. I love that powder. Now, do you need both the Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder and the Too Faced Born This Way pressed blurring powder? No, you don't. My recommendation would be that if you are more oily, I would go for the Too Faced because it does, in my opinion, control shine a little bit better. Now for touch-up powder, I do have the Fenty Oil Control Powder, and I really like that one. Oh, wait a second. I just thought of something. No, I didn't just think of it because I do have another MAC product that I plan to talk about in this video. I have it right here in front of me. So that's something I wanted to mention earlier, is that MAC is now being sold at Sephora in the United States. I believe it was sold already at stores in Canada and maybe some other countries around the world, but in the United States, we did not have MAC at Sephora until recently. So now I'm wondering if you can get my favorite touch-up powder at Sephora, which is the MAC Blot. No, that is a bummer. Okay, well, MAC Blot Powder is the one that I use the most. I've been using it for years for touching up shine, but the Fenty one is also excellent as well. So one of those two would be what I would bring in my bag to go out for the evening or the day. The next category is powder blush. And now that Sephora has MAC, I have got to recommend to you all the Glow Play Cushiony Lightweight Buildable Blurring Blush. Heat Index is one of my favorite shades. Plush Pepper is another one that's great for that real sun-kissed, sunburnt, suntanned sort of look. But on my list, I've got the Kosas Blush is Life blushes, the YSL Make Me Blush 12-Hour Blurring Blushes, the Tower 28 Get Set Blur Powder Blush, and the Saie Super Suede Talc-Free Blush. I do love them all. And by the way, this is the powder blush category. I do have liquid and cream blush next. But for the powder blush, I would say I find myself reaching for those MAC blushes or the YSL Make Me Blush 12-Hour Blurring Blushes the most. There's just something about those shades, those finishes of the YSL that I just adore. And if you find yourself at Sephora and you're at those gondolas, the Tower 28 or the Saie or the Kosas, and perhaps you're testing some of the shades on your hand and you're wondering, oh, should I get this? Is it going to be good quality? If you love the shade, you will most likely love the formula as well. I do not believe the formulas of the Tower 28 or the Saie or the Kosas are going to let you down. And then when it comes to cream and powder blushes, the Patrick Ta. And I love that he came out with these minis. If you're looking for a great everyday shade, I would very much recommend Just Enough. And if you like a bright pink, She's a Doll is another favorite of mine. And if you want a beautiful peachy cheek, one of the newest shades called Soft Launch is beautiful. You're also going to get great color payoff and wear time from the Saie Beauty Dew Blushes and the Tower 28 Cream Blushes. I also really love these Charlotte Tilbury blush sticks. They're called Unreal Lip and Cheek Glow Blush Sticks with hyaluronic acid. I own Rosy Glow and Peachy Glow, and I couldn't be happier with them. I think they are beautiful, and I do get all day wear from them. All right, moving on to brows. I'm really a drugstore brow product girly. There are so many amazing brow products at the drugstore right now. And my favorite brow wax is unfortunately not available at Sephora. It's from Baybrow and it is called Hold Up Flexible Brow Wax. But if you are looking for a brow setting product to purchase from Sephora, I would recommend either the Rare Beauty brow gel or honestly the original Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel. I actually prefer it to the Freeze brow gel. And then for brow pencils, I have repurchased the Patrick Ta brow pencil many, many times. The blonde shade is perfect. It is what I am wearing today. The color is great. The tip is great. I am able to make very nice hair-like strokes with this without the tip breaking off. So if you're looking for a brow pencil from Sephora, I definitely recommend this one. It was on my recommendations list from last year as well. Eyeliner and mascara. I have the Iris and Romeo Peptide Mascara, the House Labs Structural Volumizing and Lengthening Mascara, the Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes Eyeliner Pencil. I still like all of these, but for mascara, I have got to give it to the MAC Stack Elevated Mascara. I don't think I've ever been so in love with a mascara, high-end or drugstore. I bought the mini just to try it out, and it has lasted me a really, really long time. Don't cancel me for this, but I do not throw my mascara out after 6 to 8 weeks like some people do. I basically use them until they dry out or get clumpy. Sorry. Now, of course, if I were still a freelance makeup artist, that is not what I would do. I was always very, very sanitary with my products, and I would never use a mascara wand like this on a client anyway. I would always have my disposables, never double dip, all of that stuff. But for me, I've been wearing mascara for 40 years, and I just never have been one to follow that rule of tossing your mascara every 3 months. Some people recommend every month, and no. Just no. So I love everything about this mascara. It gives me length, it gives me volume, separation. I adore this. Now those other recommendations are good too, but for me, it's the MAC. For eyeshadow, I have on here the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions eyeshadow palette, the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions Eye Illusion Duos, the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes, and then I also have the YSL Mini Clutch Eyeshadow Quads, which I do still love, and the Lawless The Dreamy Dozen eyeshadow palette. I really like that one too. But I would say if I had to do a top 5 now, it would still be the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette plus the Patrick Ta Eye Illusion Duos. I love these. The Makeup by Mario Master Mattes, yes. But my final 2, I would swap out the YSL Mini Clutch Eyeshadow Quads for the Makeup by Mario cream eyeshadows. I've been loving those so much this year, especially for a very easy eye look. I just lay down one of the cream eyeshadows and then pop one of the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions shimmers over my lid, and it's just such an easy, beautiful evening look. And then the Rare Beauty eyeshadow palette. This is pretty new. I've already raved about it in a couple videos. Oh gosh, you know what? That might be an Ulta exclusive because I don't see it on the Sephora website. Okay. So, you know what I'm going to put in here instead? The Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Original Palette. This was recently relaunched by popular demand. Actually, I think a couple of years ago, he relaunched it around holiday time, but only for a limited time. And so some people still were not able to get it. Now it looks like it might be sticking around. And of all the Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palettes, the original is my favorite. So if you can get your hands on that now, I definitely would. And also the Patrick Ta Essential Artistry Edit eyeshadow palettes, these 6-pan palettes, those are fantastic. If you don't feel like you need the big palette, then go for one of these smaller ones. And for eyeliner, these Hung Van Gogh eyeliners are incredible. I reach for them over the Rare Beauty eye pencils. It is called the Longwear Waterproof Precision Gel Eyeliner. And I'm looking here and they only have 3.7 stars out of 5, and I don't know why. Because to me, this is one of the longest wearing eyeliners I've ever tried, especially for the waterline. And you can see here, I'll put it up on the screen, purchased 2 times. I did not get sent that big Hung Vango PR package that a lot of influencers got last fall, I think it was, when the line launched. I was very jealous of those that did because I am a huge fan of Hung's work. And honestly, in case anybody's wondering how I feel about the line in general, overall, I think it's pretty good. I have purchased a couple of the eyeshadow palettes and the blushes and the lip liners, and they're all good. I just don't find myself reaching for them over the other products that I've mentioned in this video, except for the eyeliners. What don't people like about these eyeliners? Best eyeliner for color and longevity. I agree. Then the next one is fell short of expectations. I noticed smearing and flaking after only wearing it for about 6 hours in an air-conditioned environment. I don't know what to say about that because I have worn this eyeliner in the very, very dry Las Vegas atmosphere that I'm currently in. I also took the pencils with me to Mexico, where I was in a very, very humid climate in Puerto Vallarta, and it stayed. So I can see myself purchasing a 3rd color. I kind of want the taupe. For highlighters, the Rare Beauty Positive Touch Silky Highlight. I still say yes to those. Very bold, very beautiful. And the other highlighter that I find myself reaching for the most is an oldie but a goodie. It is the Benefit Cookie Highlighter. If you're looking for more of a subtle highlight, I would recommend one of the Too Faced Born This Way Super Glow Multi-Use Highlighting Skin Enhancers. This is a product very much like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Glow product, where you can mix it into a foundation, you can wear it on its own, or you can wear it as a cheek topper. And it is beautiful that way. I only wear it as a cheek topper. Also, for a more subtle highlight, this product from Sarah Creel is amazing. It is called Today's Highlights 12-Hour Peptide Balm Luminizer, and I have it in the shade This Just In. It gives a beautiful champagne glow. I have this on as well as a little bit of the Too Faced on top. Oh boy, lip products. Okay, you know what? I'm not even going to read off last year's lip products. I'm just going to tell you what I'm using right now. Now, please don't judge me, but this is the bag of lip products that I brought with me on my last trip. What can I say? I like to have a lot of lip options. So I'm going to start off with the lip liners that are in here. One of my all-time favorites, the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil Extreme in Anywhere Caffeine. I love all of the Makeup Forever lip pencils, but I do find that the Artist Color Extreme is more long-wearing than the original. Next is the Summer Fridays lip liner, specifically in the shade Toffee. This is so, so good. I also have a couple Makeup by Mario lip liners in here. Smoky Pink and Toasty are 2 favorites. And then I've got 2 lip liners from Mary Phillips in here. Okay, even with my glasses on, I can't see. They're called Overliners. Oh, French Exit and Skinny Dip. French Exit is the one I have on right now. It's such a great pinky color. The others that I've mentioned are definitely more brown or nude brown. This one is a great pink. And then with this liner, I have paired it with the Mary Phillips Lip Siggy. I have Tickled Pink and First Base. I'm pretty sure I used Tickled Pink today. And then I put a gloss on top. And the gloss is one that I don't hear a lot of people talking about, but it's the Armani, the Giorgio Armani Prisma Gloss. These are fabulous. If you don't like a sticky gloss, if you want just something shiny and non-sticky that doesn't travel outside the lip line, the Armani. And I've got another shade in here. I've got the nude and like this cherry pink color. And then I have an ABH lip gloss. These are always a hit, a winner. I picked up one of these Patrick Ta lip oils. It's called Major Moisture Smoothing Balm with Peptides, and this shade is Pink Salted Caramel. This is a beautiful color, beautiful formula. I've got a couple Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks in here. You can never go wrong with Kim KW for nude or Nude Kate. The Plumpgasm gloss in light medium is also a favorite of mine if you like a plumping gloss. These Fenty sticks, these Fenty Gloss Bomb sticks are so good. I love a glossy lipstick, and these are just, they're great. Flawless Forget the Filler plumping glosses. If you're looking for an actually effective gloss, well, an effective plumping gloss, Flawless Forget the Filler. This is the shade Strawberry Shortcake, and it is my favorite. And then I also have a Flawless Forget the Filler plumping lip liner in Nude Honey. This is super pigmented, super creamy, and a great shade that goes with lots of lip combos. Okay, back to the list. Brushes. House Labs concealer brush. Yes, still use it all the time. Makeup by Mario F4 dual-ended brush. Yes, still use it all the time. Basically any Patrick Ta dual-ended brush. I am crazy about these as well. And then the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe brush number 7. This was from a limited edition set. I just happened to grab it, but I have maybe 3 or 4 of these. I also own 2 of the Makeup by Mario F4 brushes. For hair, the Olaplex Volumizing Blow Dry Mist, still use and love that. The Living Proof Heat Styling Spray, I will always repurchase that. The K18 Molecular Hair Repair Mask, I will also always repurchase that. And nowadays, I would repurchase anything Chris McMillan. I have tried the Glassy Blowout Spray, the Texture Spray, the new hair oil. Everything is so, so good. Chris McMillan really brought us the goods. Let me just say what I've known ever since I first heard about Chris McMillan back in the early 90s when he gave Jennifer Aniston the Rachel haircut on Friends. The man knows what he's doing. And then for setting sprays, I've got the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray here, as well as the Makeup by Mario 16-Hour Setting Spray. A new one that I would add to this list would be the Danessa Myricks Blurring Setting Spray. This one is for all of us combo to oily skinned people. I very rarely find setting sprays that help to control shine, and this one truly does. It was also an Allure 2025 Best of Beauty Award winner. Oh, and you know what I just discovered is still available from Danessa Myricks? I didn't include it because I thought it was limited edition and sold out. It is the Mini Everyday Magic Neutral Freedom Palette. This is gorgeous. So if you can get your hands on that, I would do it. I don't have fragrance on my previous list, and I think I'm going to do a separate video, maybe a YouTube short on my top fragrance picks. As you can see behind me, I do have some fragrances here, mostly chosen for their aesthetics. A few of them are not available at Sephora, but this one is the Love Shack Fancy Moon Dance. This is such a pretty girly fragrance, perfect for spring and summer. The keynotes of this one are Velvet Rose, Magnolia, and Sandalwood. Love this one for day or for a girls' night out. For evening, for date night, I have to go with the Valentino Born in Roma Intense. This one contains vanilla and jasmine, 2 of my favorite fragrance notes, and both of these fragrances last. Of course, everyone's body chemistry is different. Fragrances can smell different on everyone. Their ability to linger on the skin for a specific length of time is also very dependent on your body chemistry. But those are 2 of my go-tos that I have been wearing for a very long time. All right, I think that's going to do it for this Sephora Savings Event Spring 2026 recommendations video. As I mentioned at the very beginning, all of the products will be listed and linked by their categories down below in the description box. If you are on your mobile phone, you will have to tap Show More in order to bring down that description box. I will also have as many products as I can tagged on or through YouTube Shopping. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I hope that you will come back and reference it when you're doing your savings event shopping, because it does go for a full 10 days if you are Rouge. And please stay tuned for my haul video. I honestly don't have that much on my wish list, but there are some things I would like to try. And let me know in the comments if you would prefer a haul and then a try on, or just a try on haul, or just a haul. I never know what people are truly looking for. If you want to just hear what I got, Or do you want to see me demo what I got? Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. I do upload new videos at least twice per week. You can also find me over on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. My username is the same on every social media platform. It's Risa Does Makeup. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.